So this time, we're going to be taking a look at, well, if you haven't sensed a theme, sort of the past few videos, they're all part of a little shipment of stuff that Aetherus69 was good enough to send to me, and these are really the last things. If you follow him, follow his channel, you know that he's been on a Mini-Mates kick of recently, and so he went at I think a comic book store, maybe a toy store. He found, I'm sorry. He has a comic book store that he likes to find a lot of toys at, and he found a great sale on some of these old DC Mini-Mates. So he picked up some duplicates and sent them out to me. And what's really neat, I do have one set of the DC Mini-Mates. You may have seen my video on that, part of Tote Treasures, the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold pack. Now, just because of my position and situation back when these came out, I would have liked to have gotten a lot of them, especially the the Golden Age characters, like you see here, Red Tornado, the Mahonkel one, and Hawkman, Hawkgirl. I know they did a lot of the they did Flash, Golden Age Flash, basically all the JSA members that they had. I definitely would have collected, but they were a little bit pricey, I thought, at the time. Now they're nothing. But he did a great deal on these. As you can probably see, their original price was $9.99. He got them for what I think $2-3. So how could you not pass up that? It's really neat because we get from the fifth series, fifth series, you get Shazam, not Captain Marvel, and Mary, not Mary Marvel. And from the Series 7, you get Stargirl and S.T.R.I.P.E, which feeds into my big JSA fanhood. So let's take a look at the Series 5 set of Shazam and Mary, or Captain Marvel and Mary Marvel. Take a look at Shazam here. Again, all these are, pretty standard articulation. Most of the stuff is just painted or tampoed onto the figure. But he does have this very unique cape or half cape piece, which is pretty neat. And you can see that the expression on his face print is very much the squinty-eyed Captain Marvel from the 40s that always reminds me, and I think a lot of people, of Fred McMurray from all the Disney films and My Three Sons. I really do like that printing. I guess I should go through standard articulation for most of these guys. Is the head moves left and right, up and down some, and the arms go in and out all the way around, and you can pose them sort of slightly forward and back as well. They rotate or bend at the elbow and rotate at the wrist, even if some of them are tighter than others. There's waist articulation. The legs go forward, back, out, and in, and they do slightly go side to side like that. He does bend at the, or they do bend at the knee, and they, well, not his, because his are kind of unique, but the feet will rotate on most of them. But on his, the boots are part of the feet, so the rotation is lost. Taking a closer look at Mary, or Mary Marvel, again, she has a unique cape. She's got this nice hair sculpt here, very 40s to it, with the curl in the front and the curl in the back. Very nice, a classic kind of interpretation of her, instead of like a more modern version. And she's got a dress here piece instead of her standard sort of body there. But she still has all the... Whoops, there goes her flaw. Yeah, so, and that's another thing that I've noticed with these figures, is that the way they're... Sometimes the way they're put together, it can be very tight, or sometimes very loose. On this one, her hand is quite loose there. Yeah, and as you can see, her hair doesn't allow for a lot of movement in her head because of the way the piece is sculpted to lay on her shoulders. You may have a little bit of a difficulty, and the dress does sort of limit her articulation down there at her legs. And you can see here how her feet rotate, or how regular characters' feet would rotate. So that is that set. Moving on to the Series 6, S.T.R.I.P.E and Stargirl. I'm going to start with S.T.R.I.P.E here. I really like S.T.R.I.P.E from the very silver paint job that is done throughout his body, and his oversized pieces. Just really neat. I really like just kind of like the way he first appears in the JSA and in Stargirl's or Stars and Stripe at that time comic, and I really do like it. It may remind a lot of people of what was that series? Rusty the Robot and Big Guy, or something like that. You know, it was a cartoon and a comic in the late mid 90s. This is supposed to be a mech suit with a guy in it, and unfortunately it is limited due to the scale of the Mini-Mates figures. They couldn't do it one-to-one to the Stargirl figure, so it is a little bit undersized for scale, but still a very neat piece here. I like the head sculpt. It different, you know, it is actually sculpted on, rather than just the normal blank head with printing on it. So I think that's pretty unique for Mini-Mates. Usually it's, if they're going to do something like that, it's just a headpiece with something molded onto it, and then they have the standard blank head underneath. This is just one whole piece, and very neat. And of course you have the oversized chest piece and the oversized feet and hands. They just plug into the normal hand spots, but are much more oversized. And same thing with the legs here, and they extend it up, a little bit, but enough to make it taller than the standard figure. And there's one more thing that, if you notice, I was playing around with this guy, and I noticed you can kind of see there's something underneath there. I was like, I wonder what that is. Why would they put that there? They don't need to put any printing on it. This is all nicely sculpted. You got the S there for stripe. So I decided to take his head off and remove this piece. Remove this piece here without trying to remove his lower torso. There we go. And you can actually see they have this printing of Pat Dugan in there, the S.T.R.I.P.E, piloting the mech suit, which is pretty cool. I mean, they really didn't have to include that. They could have just left that blank, but they decided to put some printing on there that if you really couldn't tell it was there if you just looked at the figure. I mean, I really didn't even know, just because I was looking at it from a strange angle and caught some of the red. And so decided to investigate. So that is pretty cool. Neat little detail that they added that they didn't have to. And so finally we get to Stargirl here. Again, Stargirl has her own unique hair printing, which I think pretty much all the women do. However, hers, I think, is actually glued onto her head. Oh, no, it isn't. There it is. Just stuck on there really well. Like I said, sometimes these figures, the way they're put together, sometimes their connection points are very loose, sometimes they're very tight. Hers, that appears to be very tight, almost to have been glued on. But very nice. You do get a pretty good range of motion, much more than the Mary Marvel. Some very nice details. You get the laces on her boots. That's pretty nice. You get the stripe on the side, the stars on the side as well. All done very well. And of course, being Stargirl, she's got to come with her cosmic rod, or cosmic staff, I guess, that she inherited from Starman, the Jack Knight Starman. So it is pretty neat. Got the... I wish this is how her DC Universe Classics character came with the gold staff painted and the tip of the staff painted in clear, translucent yellow plastic. But on that figure, of course, the staff is all translucent yellow plastic, which it's alright, but I would have preferred to have the staff painted gold. A neat little thing from Aetherus69. So thank you once again, and maybe if I find these guys at a similar price, I'll pick up more of them. But for right now, I think that's probably it. So I guess that'll be it, and see you until my next video. I'll see you.